Hi, everyone. This is Ben Blanquera with Tech Life Columbus. Today, I've got Alan Gilbert of Boundless.com. In perusing the weekly interwebs, I saw that Boundless.com had just raised $25 million. And as I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, Alan Gilbert's involved. So I thought it was pretty cool. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Alan today, about what is all about Boundless and why it's cool. So with that, Alan Gilbert, let me introduce everyone to Alan Gilbert. He's the VP of Engineering for Boundless.com. Morning, Alan.
Morning, Ben. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good. Spring is here. I hope to stay. It's the second.
I love hearing the birds in your background, Alan. I hope it stays too. So, Alan, you're currently the VP of Engineering at Boundless. Can you just give me a 30-second sketch on Alan Gilbert in kind of like how you got here, how you got to Boundless?
Yeah. So where do I start? I guess I'll just go along sort of the timeline of my career. I worked for most of my career in medical products. I worked for a company up in Cleveland called Codonics for 16 years. And then in 2012, had a really great opportunity to join Cover My Meds when it was very small. I met the team there. I was really impressed with the team to the point where I moved to Columbus. And I was at Cover My Meds for 6.5 years, and then went over to Orange Barrel Media to work on the Ike Smart City kiosk business, and did that for 3 years. And then late last year, as I was working from home like everybody else, had an opportunity to join a Seattle company, Boundless. And it's interesting because I really did not plan on working outside of Columbus. Columbus is my home now, but the opportunity to work remotely, build a remote team, and work for a great company that had all the ingredients I was looking for was irresistible. So I joined Boundless in the fall.
Fantastic. They're lucky to have you. So, Alan, for our viewers, what does Boundless do? What problem does it solve?
Yeah, so what we do, you can think of us as like TurboTax for immigrants. The problem we solve is that we take a process. There are many different versions of immigration processes into the U.S., typically visas. We take right now a handful of visas, mostly in the family and travel area, and we make it much easier and much less expensive as compared to using an immigration attorney or trying to do it ourselves. So it's sort of like TurboTax for immigrants. It's online. We help people gather all the information they need in the way that the USCIS, which is the part of the US government that is responsible for administering immigration. We help collect the information and documentation and help present it in the way that the USCIS wants to see it, and that makes it easier and a much higher chance of success for the person trying to get the visa. The cost is typically around 5 to 7 times less than what you would pay an immigration attorney, and it's usually faster and more streamlined because that's all we do. We put a lot of effort into optimizing the process for a handful of visas, and over time we're adding more and more to our portfolio of visas that, and products that we offer to our customers.
This sounds like a perfect use case of technology for a very paper-intensive, very complicated process that could be befuddling for someone for an immigration process, and you're just, like you said, making it simple using TurboTax. TurboTax now.
Yeah. Or let's use a local example. It's like Cover My Meds for immigrants.
Of course, that's a better example. That's great. And just, I'm curious. So when you look at what is how many people you can help, what is the scale of that for this company?
To date, we've helped around 75,000 families.
Wow.
And that is that's over 10 years combined with, we have 2 brands. There's Boundless, which is the primary company. And then we also acquired another company called Rapid Visa, which is now a Boundless brand. And between the 2 companies, we've helped 75,000 families over the 2 companies' lifespans. But we expect to scale that significantly. I would anticipate at some point that could be our annual
Gotcha.
run rate of families that we're helping, or even beyond that.
That's fantastic. So knowing that you can help 75,000 families a year is got to make you feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a mission that it's really easy to roll out of bed in the morning and get excited about the work we're doing.
Yeah, is that what attracted you, Alan? Because I mean, you're well accomplished. You have lots of opportunities. Is that why you chose Boundless?
For me, it was three things. Number one is I like being in that sort of high growth startup environment, and for me, my sweet spot personally is when a company's kind of figured out market fit and it's time to scale, particularly on the tech side. Number two was the people. I was really impressed with the people I met there, and in particular the leadership team. And that is an essential ingredient. You're working every day with people, be it remote or in person, and they have to be people that you want to work with, every day. And then, of course, the mission, a mission that really matters in helping immigrants, and then also internally. This company, more than any company I've ever been associated with, is focused on building a very diverse and inclusive environment, particularly in tech. And that was an area for me to grow and kind of accomplish things that I haven't accomplished in my career before. So that was also a draw for me.
Oh, fantastic. Alan, there's always like a cool backstory to how these companies started. Could you share a little bit of the backstory of Boundless?
Sure. So Boundless was born out of a company called PSL, Pioneer Square Labs. It's a startup studio that was started in Seattle. Actually, one of the co-founders is my son, Ben. And
good name.
4 years ago, of course. I like to think maybe there's some connection there. 4 years ago, Boundless was started by a group within PSL, and then also Xiao Wang, who they were working with, who is our CEO, that had a particular interest in this area and a very kind of entrepreneurial mindset. And so PSL's created, I'm guessing, around 25 companies to date, and Boundless was one of them. And I was at an event they hosted, that PSL hosted in 2019, and I met Xiao, our CEO, at a reception and just sort of made a mental note, like, hey, this is a guy I'd like to work with someday. And so when the opportunity came up late this summer, when they were looking for a VP of engineering, late last summer, I should say, that's what started the conversation, and one thing led to another. So my son likes to joke that one of his favorite recruiting channels is to hire his dad, but it's not very scalable.
That is actually a great sort of like, a story. Like, yeah, I hired my dad. that's he's got to take special joy in that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, Alan, you've just raised 25 million Series B.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, kind of what's the for the next year? What's bound? Where are you guys going? What's next?
Yeah. So the fundraise was primarily driven by the election results and the opportunities now in the immigration space. We're trying to create kind of a new category of company that we are calling immigration tech. Just think fintech, this is immigration tech. So the idea is to apply technology to make the immigration process easier and take a lot of the pain and arduousness out of the process, and just boil it down to what should the process be, and then let's help it make it really easy to execute that process. And so with the election results being immigration friendly, we expect a lot more opportunity this year in terms of our market. If you look at it from just a business perspective, our market size has grown. There is going to be more immigration activity in 2021 and 2022 and beyond, particularly, fingers crossed, with COVID starting to taper off and travel opening up. And we wanted to have the financial wherewithal to hit the gas and hire the people and build the products and build the operations infrastructure to be able to grow quickly to help more families.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So are you hiring, Alan?
We are hiring, yes. We are hiring in many areas. The one where I'm particularly involved is product. So I think for me, my team, engineers, front-end engineers, full-stack engineers.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to hire some specialized areas like test engineering, security, infrastructure. As our team grows, you go from everybody does all those things to you want to start having specialists to
Sure.
where you can have one person that can leverage themselves and help the whole team. We're also looking for designers. We're looking for product managers, and we're actually looking for a head of product now. We're looking to hire a VP of product to really be our sort of head visionary and executor of our product vision.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so thrilled that you decided to stay here in Columbus, and you're building out your team. You said something, Alan. You've already got 6 people here in Columbus or something, and so
yeah. So I should mention that this is a Seattle-based company, but we are hiring completely remotely now. The engineering team currently is 12 folks, half of whom are in Columbus, just because of people I know, honestly, that I've hired from previous partnerships or companies I work for. But we're hiring nationwide. We have people on the engineering team in California, South Carolina, Nevada, Colorado, Seattle, Columbus. So we're building out the team remotely. Columbus is interesting because we may open an office at some point, or at least have a common space where we can collaborate if we want to meet together. But I think we're at this point, we are committed to remote.
Fantastic. So, Alan, is there anything that you'd like to just as closing words to our viewers that you'd like to ask or share?
Yeah, I'd say, as I said, we're looking to hire great people. If you are a product person, an operations person, or even just, in general, someone who's passionate about this domain or wants to work on a mission that really matters and help build a great, important company, go to boundless.com, look at our careers page, or look me up on LinkedIn.
There you go. Well, Alan, thank you so much for your time. It's been really a pleasure. And I love hearing these stories about how companies are helping families, during a very difficult time using technology. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Take care, Alan.
Thanks.